In Toronto, we have a choice. We can give in to pessimism, stand by and do nothing. Or we can get unstuck.
Are you paying attention yet to that big race that's happening in Canada? It's the race to be the next mayor of Toronto, the biggest city in the country, the biggest budget, bigger than some provinces combined. Hello, I'm Adrienne Batra. With me are Fraser MacDonald and Brian Lilley. Fraser MacDonald, of course, is vice president at Strategy Corp. I kind of cheekily ask that question, Fraser, because it doesn't seem like a lot of people are paying attention. But if they look at how the polls are going right now, as Brian has been writing about, Olivia Chow, the former NDP MP, former city councillor, likely will be the mayor of Toronto. So what's going on here?
I mean, yeah, if the vote was today, I think Olivia Chow takes it, but I'm not sure how many people are paying attention. And I think once they do, they might start to think, in a city that more than two-thirds people voted for John Tory with a very different political direction only a few months ago, it might be time to start picking an alternative and coalescing behind them.
Brian, there is just a few short weeks left in this campaign,
Yeah.
but lots can happen. There's no question about that. We certainly know that Olivia Chow is in first place, according to the current polls. Mark Saunders, former chief of police, is hovering around second place. And then there's all the others. So I'm wondering, from your perspective, as you've been covering the race and seeing the policy positions out there, with what is Toronto is facing right now, crime, grime, homelessness issues, drug issues, so much happening. You talk about, Olivia Chow is just not that person right now, but is she resting on the laurels of simply name recognition?
I think that's a lot of it. And look, if we were voting on who do you think is a nice person, I could vote for Olivia Chow. I've known her a long time. Knew her when she was a city councillor, when she was an MP. She was the immigration critic for the NDP. I had the immigration beat for The Sun many years ago. I used to talk to her all the time. She's a great person, has the wrong policies, and that's the problem. When we're dealing with an issue of homeless encampments in parks driven by mental health and addictions issues, well, she wants to not only follow the lead of Vancouver in opening up and decriminalizing all hard drugs. The city of Toronto actually wants to go one step further and past what Vancouver's doing, and she supports that. No extra investment in addiction recovery or treatment. It's just make drugs easier to get. I don't think that that's the right policy at this point. I don't think cutting the police budget is the right policy. That's something she's long advocated for. So on the policies that she supports and the issues that Toronto's facing right now, she's simply the wrong person. The unfortunate part is on the center-right side, centrist coalition side, there's far too many candidates right now, and none of them are in a position to beat her at this point.
Fraser, let's talk a little bit about that, the politics of it all. Ms. Chow is being supported by Progress Toronto, who saw a lot of success in the 2022 city council election. They saw a number of the people they were backing get elected into office. It's not going so well for Toronto, but nonetheless, they are behind Olivia Chow. And, in the game of the political game, you need lists. You need lists of voters. You need people out there to knock on the doors and pound the pavement for you and ultimately get out the vote. Ms. Chow benefits from big NDP lists. And as Brian mentioned, the so-called center-right, very fractured, very disjointed. Is there any path that you see where that could change, where a couple of candidates say, okay, we need to stop Olivia Chow from being mayor. We need to get behind candidate X, be it Bradford, Saunders. I don't know who. What's your take?
One hopes that kind of thing might happen in order to avoid a negative outcome. I don't really see that in the cards in the next couple of weeks. And I think at this point, everybody's name is going to stay on the ballot. So it's going to be up to voters to decide who that alternative horse is going to be. And right now, nobody's broken free from the pack. It's Chow way out ahead and another group of about 5 candidates who are hovering in the ballpark at 10%. I think Bradford seems to be the one that's slowly chipping away, but he started from further behind. So I don't really have a sense of where it's going to go, but something's got to move and quickly in order to change the outcome.
There are 102 people running for mayor of Toronto. So it's going to be a very, very long ballot before you find the person that you want to vote for. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time to start paying attention. Log on to Facebook and Twitter. Let us know what you think. Go to theTorontoSun.com. Hit that subscribe button. You're going to find coverage on stories like this and others you will not find anywhere else.